So,
Hello, this is Narrative Theater.
yes, so...
Even though we are not quite sure that this is the right name.
Yes, I have some doubts.
Because for me, narrative is very much about healing. Because when you put elements of your life in a line, so that gives it a beginning, a development, a catharsis, like the main point, and then the end, then it's like gets a whole form and has its healing effect on us. This is why it's narrative. But my partner, Nino, wanted to call it also emotion.
Theater of performing...
Theater of performing emotion, which is for me not quite right, because performing emotion is something which is about, like, the main point is my emotions, and it's not right.
But it is about emotion, isn't it?
It's about emotions for the audience. But for you, it's more, because emotions is dramatizing. We have emotions because we're dramatizing too much the value of what happens with us. Like, we think that the thing which happens to us is too much important, and this is why we have so much emotions.
Right.
Like, our life is too much important. But when you look at your life like a director, when you want to tell a story, then it's like emotions is not so important. More important what exactly happened and what this story leads. So combining the feeling part and the directing part gives us this healing effect. When we at the same time thinking as a person, like we're thinking like a little bit God, who wants a story.
Yes.
And like ourselves, who wants to live emotions and, oh my God, I'm so terribly wounded, I'm so terribly sad, I'm so terribly happy. Like, we give too much energy to our emotions, because emotions is what our life consists of. So like, as people, we very much about emotions. But as a healing process, we should be more about the story.
Okay, so it's...
So this is what creates how you say it, when you go a little bit.
So it's about distancing.
It's about distancing, yes.
About from emotion.
Yes.
Okay. I see. Okay. So what is narrative theater?
Narrative theater is playing the stories from your life. And maybe not exactly the stories how they was. It's like what I can make out of the story. Because when I have it as a story, I can change every part of the story. Person with whom I was separated, I can be forever together, and something I lost, I can find it and let it transform. So like in the story, I have much more control. So in a story, I can feel myself more safe, because life I can't control.
But isn't it a lot then kind of creating an illusion?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. It's exactly because theater. Yeah.
How does it help?
This is now I tell you how does it help. For our subconsciousness, doesn't matter if we created it in illusion or we lived it. For example, if I in a theater talk to some person, contact with whom I lost for many years, like I can't talk to this person in reality, but I talk to this person in theater, I get exactly the same experience as I would talk to this person in life. And I get exactly the same relief. I tried it a lot of times. I'm like 30 years in this thing, and it works all the time. So it was never happened that, because when you agree to play, when you say, okay, let it go, let's imagine like it would happen, and you let it happen, you have the same experience. And your subconsciousness thinks that it happens and you have the relief. The words you couldn't say then, you said now, so you transform everything by displaying. So this is like a healing illusion. Because when we act, our subconsciousness can't decide what is it, reality or illusion.
But then what happens after this story, after the performance ends? Because
When the performance ends, you get the feeling that everything was okay. Because the problem in our life that we have a lot of stories which ended in a very bad way, and we like pity ourselves because we think that we are guilty for the fact that the story ended a wrong way. In the theater, you can end all stories with a good end, and your subconsciousness will think that it was a good end, and you will feel much better. You like, everything was okay in my life.
Sure. And at the same
Like
time,
that was never something I have to feel guilty about and nothing to suffer about, because everything is totally okay, everything is good. Instead of feel pity for my life,
or
I feel grateful because it happened. It gave me the emotions I wanted. You even, while playing, you even can see the way how you've been creating these emotions for yourself. Because all this is about creating emotions to live them. We want to live emotions. We want to live different emotions. We want suffer, we want love, we want separation, we want meetings, we want goodbyes, we want all different stuff, and we want to feel the different, how to say, like a lot of things, variations, you know?
Okay.
So this is what it is about.
Right.
Feel the variation of everything and feel grateful because this variation is exist. And then you get this feeling of like flying on. You are something like a spirit which that just looks at all these stories,
Right.
which all looks on all these millions of different stories and say, oh, this is so nice, how rich my life was, how much stories I lived in, you know. So you like get some different angle.
Okay, I'm starting to understand it better.
Very good, and I'm also starting to understand it better. Good thing in this that it's not like the point, it's not the end. It's not like me sitting somewhere in the golden chair and say, I know everything. I am also the student. I'm investigating, just like I've been investigating this in 30 years. So I have like a lot of experience. I can't exchange my experience with you. This is what most inspiring thing for me, that I can exchange my experience with you and say, look what I found it, and you can experience with me and say, look what I found it. And this process is very healing, because we participating in we like gods, we like participating in creating stories, and you can change my story, I can change your story, you know.
Yes.
So we kind of became creators of stories.
Director, creator.
Director, creator, yes.
Etc. Okay. Yeah.
This is it? No?
Yeah. So, well, there are some things that I would like to make sure. So, there are some techniques
A lot of techniques,
that you
millions.
that you will use.
It's millions of techniques.
Yes, like it says facial relaxation, create an intolerable situation, paradoxical solution.
Yes.
This, what does this?
What exactly? Facial relaxation
For
or
instance, facial-
paradoxal solution? Because it's two completely different things.
Yeah.
What is the first?
Okay, for instance, paradoxical solution.
Our life is a paradox because we have always these inner directions. Like we want at the same time be with somebody, and at the same time we hate something, and this person, this part of this person we want to throw away. But at the same time we want to be with this person.
Sure.
And we get in this paradox, which I can love and hate exactly the same thing at the same time, you know? So this is the paradox. And when we try to solve this paradox in life, we always go to this question dualistically. So we always have yes or no. Or I be with this person and I will suffer from this part which I want to throw away.
Okay.
Or I will not be with this person and I will suffer from that I can't be with the things I love. But in theater, we don't decide anything, we just play. We play different situation, we play different behavior, because in life, very often, with the person, we can't try so much things. Because it's not experiment, you know? You can't at the same say, let's try not to be together. Okay. And let's try to be together but not talk. Let's try to be together, but you will go with closed eyes. And so you have millions of proposals, and in theater you can experiment with them, and you have also very interesting exercises on how you build the experiment, because you can build the experiment completely listening to your heart, like being completely with you, because in life very often we have to как предать. Предать.
Okay.
I don't know this word.
That's...
Like you have to make yourself evil for yourself.
Okay.
Because you're doing something against yourself. You know?
Okay.
In theater you can be you can do totally what you want. Totally, absolutely. Because in theater, if I want to kill somebody, I just do like, and this person have to fall down, and my subconsciousness feels like I killed this person.
Okay.
We have this like kind of agreement. So in theater, I can try things I could never try in life.
Okay.
I can die and look how this person will behave. So I can try whatever, which gives me absolutely uncountable possibilities.
Sure.
To find the paradoxical solution, because the solution always lies on the other geometrical level.
Okay.
Like for example, if we try to find the solution in the two-dimensional, we can't find. But if you look in three-dimensional, then we find the solution. If you can't find in the three-dimensional, then it's in four, you know? So you like theater gives us the possibility to go to another dimension, from which everything is absolutely fits to each other.
Okay, that is something I would like to try.
This is something you want to try?
Yes, and see how it happens.
Yeah. We already tried, because we've been working with your fear and with your something else, and you felt this going to another dimension. So you know what I'm talking about. Just because on course, when you tried it like 100 times, then you get this trust. You understand that this space of play always gives you the answer. Because the problem with us, with people, we have lack of trust. We like always feel that our situation is impossible, there is no way out, our situation is the worst one, my problem is biggest in the universe, and like this. So, but when we try it 100 times, and 100 times you get the answer, 100% you get the answer, then you have total belief that if you start to play, you go on the side. Sometimes you just don't want to play because it's so obvious that you have the answer. So you're like, it's very funny to feel this situation like unbearable and there is no way out, because I know there is answer somewhere, and you're like, you know, you have this other type of feeling the situation.
Okay. So for instance, create an intolerable situation. That would also be finding out solutions for the.
Yeah, intolerable situation, this is what life is about. We
Yes.
always try to make the situation intolerable. Because in intolerable situation, we get the best and biggest feelings, and we want. This is what we want.
Right.
We want feelings which feel just
Okay.
like this. This is what we want. Even people who are very careful, somewhere deep inside their soul want to experience life in all hugeness, in all, in all power. And this intolerable situation, what gives you. So when you get into the intolerable situation, you have to remember that you created it for yourself to enjoy these feelings, which you cry and laugh and you don't know, and you pray and whatever,
Right.
So I think maybe we stop now because
Yes.
memory in my phone is not enough.
Okay.
So we stop and we will make another part of it.
Sure.
So just press this
So
button.
I have-
Thank you very much.
I love
Please
the
come to
buttons.
our course.
Yes, please.
The same red button.